When we talk about Afrobeats and the bold architects that laid its foundation, one name that cannot be ignored is that of our next guest, right? He is from the electrifying duo of Junior and Pretty, who helped shape Afro hip hop in the 90s. I remember when Monica came out, I was maybe in primary 5. Yes, I was, because I remember that Bolanle was hot when I was in JSS 1. So, it's a long time coming. So, with over 3 decades of active contribution to the creative sector, he's not just an artist, but a force of transformation. From managing landmark events for top brands and artists to launching innovative platforms like the Go Create Africa app, he has consistently stayed ahead of the curve, pushing for structure, accountability, and new revenue streams for Nigeria's creative economy. He's the founder of Pretty Boy Entertainment, Red Worldwide, Grant Creative Solution, and Soft Landing Support Services, a testament to his multifaceted influence as a leader, creator, and visionary. So please welcome to the music gig this afternoon a pioneer, an advocate, a relentless innovator in the Nigerian music space, and the president of the Performing Musicians Employers of Nigeria, Mr. Pretty Okafor. Yes, you're welcome to the show. Yes, we're going to just sort out some things here so we can hear. You can speak into the mic. Your mic is on.
Thank you so much, Rex, and thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being here. Okay, so let's jump right in. First off, after your successful music career and foray into business, I want to know, why did you decide to, vie for office of PMAN in the first place, and how has the experience been like so far?
The funny thing is, I didn't even vie. I think they've been having crisis all along. So they were having issue to two different factions, and they decided to settle. That was how they started shopping for. And I've been one of the heavyweight in the music industry at that time. So they approached me, and the reason they approached me, because I was successful already in my own business.
Okay.
Some of them I give them gigs. So so they came direct and decided to talk me into coming to join them in PMAN because of they always having issues. I didn't bother. I decided to ignore, but. Should I use the word fortunately or unfortunately? Fortunately, they got to my manager.
Okay.
That's my general manager in my office. And my general manager had to speak to my wife, and she now spoke to me after like 3 months or so. Like, why don't you take your time and listen to these people? Like, babe. Now, I not get that strength. I'm too busy for that.
Okay.
So after some time, she been discussing this issue for like morning and night. Like, okay, let me even listen to them. She didn't even know them. She now called my manager, and my manager so they met me, blah blah. I said, but I've been avoiding these people. He said, but I don't know how to run away from them.
Okay.
Again, then my office used to be at the Ikeja, so it was everybody's delight.
Okay.
So they can just walk in. So they came pressuring my manager and all that. So luckily he got to Madam, and Madam got to me, and women had to now listen.
Okay.
And I decided, okay, let me hear them. They came in and I asked them questions, and I gave them a role. I said, okay, if I'm going to come handle this issue, I'm a fervent believer in myself. I said, if I'm going to come handle this issue, I'm going to bring my own people to work, and I'll get my lawyer to advise us. They agreed, because they've been moribund for quite some time. So they agreed, and I said, okay, let me do it. Because I was running like 3 companies, and let me just get project managers to handle other stuffs, and I got into it. That was how they process. Then they were about getting a consent judgment from Federal High Court. Then I didn't even know anything about all that. But what they said, a consent judgment because the judge told them to go look for a younger person that will run your union. So that was why they approached me, and they got a consent judgment from Federal High Court, and it was down me, and I said, okay, I need to choose my people, and that was how I invited people like Sonny Neji, Zaki Aze.
Okay, you brought them in.
Yes, I brought them in.
And this was around 2016 or
2015.
2015.
So
Okay.
I brought them in so that we could now put a structure to the industry, because we are all musicians. But what we're lacking then was a structure and a strong leader. When I say strong leader, we're getting leader, but a strong leader, intelligent and stubborn. I am that kind of person. So I insisted. They didn't agree at the first. In fact, when I was discussing with Sonny Neji, I was convincing him to come. He was convincing me not to even try it.
Yeah.
That these guys are going to destroy your career. These guys are going to do that. So I know all that. But I say, I've made up my mind. And again, I listen to my wife a lot. If she says, do it, I'll do it. If she says, you're going to fix it, I'll fix it. Maybe I'm the Mr. Fix It. I'll fix it. So she said that. And that's why I brought them in. And all along, it's going well.
Okay, so and how many terms have you served now?
Now, in that 2015, I brought them in and we started. So in less than 2-3 months, we've gotten all the corporate bodies coming back to PMAN, working with it, because I was already working with these corporate bodies because of my companies. So the whole of them came back and we started working. It was like a hit. It was huge. And in 2016, the elders, should I use the word, the elders that have done some terrible thing in the industry, with PMAN, didn't want the young bloods. So, me not too conversant with the legal system that are supposed to give the consent judgment and all that. So they came with idea, we don't want you, we want to handle it ourselves. Why? But I spoke to the whole of you guys. Suddenly, because we've made moves to discover what was stolen from PMAN, like getting the land and all that.
Yes.
So some decided to get analyzed. This guy is going to expose us, and they went to file in National Industrial Court. So it was that process that they now set aside that Federal High Court judgment that brought me in.
That brought you in at that time.
So between 2016, 2017, 18, 19. I wasn't the PMAN president.
Okay.
So you understand?
All right.
But because I came in under a year or so, I created so much noise. So the next people that took over couldn't do anything. Well, they're not brand managers, so they couldn't do anything. And what everybody knows, in fact, in 2017, somebody called me like, Preachy, where are you? Some people came in here, we told them we don't know that they should go and call you. I am no more the PMAN president. The guy now said to me, then we're not doing anything with them. So it was like that. So it was huge. The impact was heavy, so they couldn't sustain it.
Okay.
Then in 2020, we now got a consent judgment from National Industrial Court. Now, the exact court that has the jurisdiction to handle our matter. So and I reassembled my team and we started. So between 2020, 2021, and 22, we bought the first ever PMAN building.
That's 2022.
2022. That was.
Okay, so you came in effectively
in 2020.
In 2020.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it was through a consent judgment, but to organize and structure the union. So the judgment said you run the union, structure it for 4 years.
4 years.
Then after that, you do an election. So then.
Okay. So you didn't come in by the process of an election.
No. It was still
consent judgment.
Consent judgment.
Okay.
And it was a unifying consent judgment, both with the former people. Everybody brought everybody together. They collapsed every institution and brought everybody together. And I think the consent judgment was based on they chose me was still based on the impact of what we did in 2015, 2016 before they said that.
Yes, set aside that judgment.
Yes. So in 2020 we got that, and I repeated that same thing that they saw in 2015 by buying the first ever PMAN building in Lekki.
I went there and I must say it's amazing.
Thank you.
Big shout outs to you. That at least there's an office that the administration of PMAN, a befitting office. So it's somewhere that corporate bodies can go, people can have meetings, and musicians have access to tools.
Yeah, thank you. So we did that. Then pushing it a notch higher, we now created the PMAN FM, created even the PMAN TV. Then also trying to acquire more properties, because if a TV station, you need more space.
Yes.
So we're on the verge of that, and in 2023, we now bought the mast, the transmitters and all that for the radio, PMAN FM radio studio, because we just built the radio station. We haven't bought the equipment. So in 2023, we now bought the equipment. When I brought in more funds, we bought the equipment for that. So that's where we are.
Okay. Sounds like you've been busy. You've been doing a lot from 2020 till now. We can see everything that you've put on the ground. And I want to assume that you had very, very good working relationship with everybody involved, the ESCOs, the National Working Committee, the NEC, and everyone. But at what point did there become a sort of a leadership tussle? And as you answer that, I want to know who is Fruitful Mekunye and some other parties that seems to be involved in all of this.
If I should answer the second question before the first one, Fruitful Mekunye, I don't know him. He's not a musician. I haven't heard about him before.
Okay.
So maybe some business guy or somebody that they can collect money from. So that has been the tradition in the union, and they brought him. But
like a sort of patron or something.
I don't think he's a patron. Like I said, I don't know him.
Okay.
I haven't come across him before.
Okay.
Never had the name in the industry and the music scene. So in 2023, when I brought in the money for the radio equipment, I refused sharing. I want to use the word. When I say the word sharing,
okay, hold on. Sorry, sorry to cut you. When you say brought in the money, is it some form of investment or?
Yes.
You attracted some investment.
Yes,
okay.
But investment, investors, developers.
Okay.
Right. Like I said, I am versatile when it comes to business. I came from a business background, so anything you give to me, I'll turn it around. That's a gift. Okay. So I discovered the PMAN property, took over it. Right, brokered a deal with the guys there because I wanted to demolish what they've already erected, and they came negotiating. And some people, my school is like, President, instead of you to develop it, okay, take the money. We need a whole lot of stuff to do, because if you develop it, you and them will start going to court and all that. So if you break it down, if you destroy, you and them will start going to court and all that. I said, well, yes, we can go to court, but I wasn't the one that gave them the authority to stay.
To even build.
To be on the land. So we now agreed, negotiated with them, and they brought in funds. So that's the first fund. It was from there we took to buy the PMAN.
Okay, the house.
Now, before I came with this initiative, that land has been lying fallow. In fact, it was sold. So what happened was I recovered it. I took charge of it. Then that's when we used in buying the PMAN secretariat.
Building. Yeah.
So in that process, there was a drawback from my NWC, my ESCOs, and said, President, this is the first time we're getting huge money. Let's just take our part, share it, and leave. I said, no. That wasn't why I brought you guys. And they know me. They actually know me in the industry. I said, listen, I'm going to apportion some to you guys, which is your allowances, right? Certain allowances accumulated because they've been working with me for some time.
Okay.
But we must purchase a building. He wanted to cause a little bit of
friction.
But again, like I said, I am focused, very, very focused, strategically focused. And I said, listen, we're doing things to leave a legacy.
Yeah.
I have kids that play music. They are not musicians, but they play music. They are instrumentalists and all that. I don't know which of them want to be like me. So when they grow to be like me now, what will I tell them? Daddy, there was a time you were the PMAN president. What did you do? What will I tell them? So no. So I wanted to leave a mark, and that's why I said, no, I'm going to give you guys some money. And I allocated a huge amount of the funds, and now use the other one to buy the PMAN building.
Okay.
Now, so I have given them funds, right?
Everyone got these funds.
Everyone got the funds complete, all my NWC. So I brought in another money, and that was supposed to be for the radio equipment.
Yes.
So when I brought the money for the radio equipment, and they found out that the money is in our account, everybody started coming again. I owe you. Like, guys, I'm not going to give anybody any money again. What I brought in now is for the radio equipment. Like, but do you prefer to give the equipment than human beings? Are like, but I've given you guys. How you invested it or how you use it shouldn't be my business, because for a human being that got that amount, that huge amount of money, you are supposed to have used it to do an investment or set up a company or set up a production or buy a property. Okay. So that was the idea I gave to them at that time. But you see, sometimes they were like, we're advanced, we're musicians, we can handle ourselves. The truth is, as a musician, you have pride. As a musician, you are rebellious by nature. I don't want to go into religion and all that, but the truth is, we are likened to come from the lineage of Lucifer. So we operate with Lucifer's spirit, if anybody's going to tell you the truth. So that whole thing, that pride, everything that was the reason why Lucifer was dropped from heaven to the earth, we have it, but we need to manage it. So I noticed all that. That's why I've been managing them, and that's why I am the only president in the history of PMAN that have been able to achieve this and this and this. And it's on record, not just by mouth, because I know how to manage them. So when it came up with, we need to share, I said, no, we're not going to share the money. So I'm actually trying to tell you what that caused friction.
Yes, the friction.
I said, we're not going to share the money. So you can imagine, I've been with them before now, then we went on a break, came back, we never had issue. We never had issue 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. So in 2024, I said, I will not share
this particular amount of money that
until
came in.
we finish. Not that I wasn't going to even give them anything. I said, until we finish
what is meant for and the
buying
project.
the equipment for the PMAN radio studios before, then pay for the license, then we go live. Then any other stuff that comes in. Because, like I said, they are not businessmen. We're going to make more money if we buy the equipment. At that time already, we've gotten letters from corporate bodies that wanted to be putting adverts on our radio. So why are you people stopping me to buy equipment that is going to generate us more revenues? So I got mad at, like, in fact, I'm not going to give on anything again. So that was the reason. Some of them got pissed and like, why am I insisting? 6 people, 5 people said, like, 5 people said I must give money, and like that 5 people, you guys are not the president, right? I'm the president. No matter what, our constitution says that I take the last decision. So I'm saying, no, we are going to buy this thing because it's going to favor you, it's going to favor me, it's going to favor the younger musicians and the older musicians. Our idea of buying the equipment was, we want to remove payola from musicians. Once you're a musician, you're registered with PMAN, we can play your work no matter if you're A-lister, B-lister, C-lister, Z-lister, but you're a registered member, we'll give you the same airtime. That was the idea.
And everybody bought into this idea.
Everybody bought into the idea. But you see, they bought into the idea when they didn't see the money. Because we have all these things planned. Remember, I said we've already built the radio studio before the money came. So at the time the money now came, they now saw the money. Obviously, they've spent the one I already gave them before.
Their allowances.
Yes, they now wanted to insist, and I disagreed. So that's just a summary of
what led to. So your NWC are the main people who were having issues with.
Yes, my NWC
consisting of who?
Sonny Neji, Zaki Aze, Rugged Man, Asha Fakmonda, Boniface Itodo.
Okay. All right, that at least that clears that up. So are you, because now there seems to be a court order that is being paraded that says you are no longer the PMAN president, and for people in the media, the public, this can be very confusing. So where are we with that? Do you have a court injunction against that? Is the matter in court, or has everything been squashed?
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of break. So why managing PMAN, I've been able to learn a bit of law. The consent court judgment is nullity already, right? Now, it's nullity in the sense that I was not part of the arrangement. So these guys went behind, had arrangement with themselves, right? And went to have a court judgment, a consent judgment, a consent agreement, consent judgment, consent agreement, and now want to enforce it on me. You cannot. I'm a third party. So that's the issue. That was why the police. I wasn't joining that suit. That was why the police now investigated and found out that it was fraud. It was fraudulently gotten, and that's why this same set of people have been charged to court. So they're on trial. I'm not on trial.
Okay.
They're on trial based on the fraudulent representation of the consent judgment, the fraud they committed, deceiving the court, deceiving the public about the consent judgment, and also breaking in, using the consent judgment as an avenue to go and break into the
PMAN they gained access into the PMAN office. Okay.
That was before they were arrested. When they were arrested now, some people will do stuff thinking, okay, we are all musicians, it's a union thing. No, it's not a union thing. This is criminal. So that's now, if you want me to break down what they are carrying, it's actually, if I use the word, it's actually a tissue paper, because I don't have any business with that consent judgment. PMAN wasn't served. Prince Okafor wasn't served.
Yes.
Already that makes it a nullity. They use fictitious addresses to serve and represent or misrepresent PMAN. So in law, I'm not speaking like a lawyer. In law, it's called nullity. And it doesn't bind me.
Okay.
It doesn't bind even PMAN. So these are a set of people that are trying to deceive the rest people, and that was why we were able to cut them short. Yes, it's in court, because I didn't want to challenge it because I don't have any business with it. But the lawyer said no, because it has been given already. You need to go through the process to set it aside and throw it off.
Okay, great. At least now we have an understanding of what's been going on with PMAN, and now looking forward. I'm sure you still have a lot of things that you plan for PMAN to accomplish. So where does that leave you now? Is your tenure still subsisting? When is it going to elapse?
No, my tenure is going to elapse in 2027.
2027?
Yeah, but with all the wahala and all that, I'm still working.
Okay.
Right? So, like I said, first is that I'm a workaholic. Two is that I'm very, very focused.
Yeah.
I use the word strategically focused. Nobody can deviate me. Then I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. We're setting up a smart city, entertainment city for PMAN in that our Abuja property.
Okay.
So we're still building a radio station and a TV station. We're building an amphitheater. Okay. We're building the 6 cinema hall there. We're having a 3-star hotel still there. So we're having PMAN secretariat, and we're also having a couple of residentials. So, and we have hi-fi towers of 15-story building, 4. Now we're going to be selling some. We're going to be using some for commercial, and the idea is something that will be generating revenue. PMAN never had anything that generated revenue for the past. Now we're 43. At the time I bought the PMAN house in Lekki, we were doing our 40th birthday. Now we're 43. So we're 43. We are now building a structure, creating revenue stream, now creating sustainability level for the younger generation. That's what we're doing. We've also built a music technology system that will be managing and monitoring the use of music of our musicians around the globe.
Yes.
Once you're a musician and you're a PMAN member, automatically you can log in and get registered, and they will be monitoring which radio station, which TV station, which online streaming platform and all that are using your work, and they'll collect it, send out the data, the analytic, and you can collect your revenue or your royalties from them.
Okay, that's beautiful. I also want to touch on some of the challenges current musicians are facing now and what PMAN is doing to address it. Now, you talked about the radio station trying to, solve the issue of payola and promotions and things like that. But what about performance royalties? Because and the state of COSON, MCSN.
I just told you we built music monitoring system.
The music monitoring. So that would
solve that issue.
Okay.
Right now, the issue will be in accountability, and for you to have your analytics, your data analytics of who used your work, when it was used, which radio station.
So it involves
location.
both airplay.
Yeah, yes. So everyone now, including stalls, restaurants and bars, wherever they are using your work, the system will be monitoring in, the digital system will be monitoring in. Now we can now go to COSON or go to MCSN. Now for the notice, COSON doesn't have license to collect, so it's MCSN.
MCSN.
Right?
Okay.
So MCSN now we collect and juxtapose what you have in your data and what they have in their system and collect and calculate your royalties and pay to you. Now that we've been able to solve that one. Okay. When I solving of live performance, now solving live performance is getting promoters to follow the link line and structure concerts where musicians are going to be performing and also getting paid properly, not getting them play in Sheraton, getting them play here, getting them play there, and some of them don't even make so much money. So we're trying to create a system where musicians will be active, not just the A-listers or the B-listers, even the how do they call it, the backup singers.
Yes.
Because there's something we call needle time royalties. Needle time royalties is a royalty between your session man and you.
Okay.
Yeah, it
almost
like,
doesn't
I'm
exist.
sure that this is the first time you're hearing it.
Yes.
It hasn't been. We know it, but our collective managing organizations some of them don't even know. I had to be sincere with you. So, but we're now introducing it so that now everybody, including the backup, your backup singers, your session men, are all getting royalties from your performance, getting royalties from wherever they perform. Even if they back you up in your work for a studio, they are getting royalties. So these are all what we are introducing.
Okay. On a final note, because we are pressed for time, what would you say in terms of encouraging people who are not with PMAN, who are musicians, especially the younger generation, because a lot of all this tussle and all of that makes people not see the need to be part of PMAN, and all that big artists that are performing, like the Burna Boys and the rest. Are they active in PMAN, and what would you say to people who are not, and why they should be part of PMAN?
I'll start from first. Most of them are registered because there's something I met on ground before I took over. And then I've started giving them the same cover letter. Once you're a musician and you're going out of Nigeria for performance, right? They will ask you, the embassies will ask you to bring a cover note, a cover letter from the music union. And we're the only music union. So what I'm saying is that I've been signing out this cover letter so the younger ones too that are not too enlightened about the industry need to understand. So we are not an association, we're a trade union. So right now, for you to even try is a must. So you need to belong. Now, why they need to join PMAN is that we have a structure. Once you're a PMAN member, you can have access to medicals, you can have access to healthcare, you can even have access to life insurance for the aged. So we've been able to put a system that works, that hasn't been there for the past 40 years.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show. Before you leave, are you going to be releasing any music anytime soon?
I think I will, because like I heard when you introduced, like we were able to introduce a brand of music that has taken over the world. I'm excited about that. I keep saying it every day. And people are making a huge amount of money, right? So I am remixing some of our work and getting the younger people to jump on it. Not practically to go perform on stage. Not that I can't still perform, but not to go and perform, but for it to be
just to exploit the work a little bit more.
Yeah, and
introduce it to the newer generation.
Then the streaming count and the downloading count and all that. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much for being part of the show today. We'll be speaking with the Performing Musicians Employers Association of Nigeria's national president, Apriti Okafor, who is doing big things for musicians in Nigeria. Thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me, Rex.